Good day and welcome to another edition of Sharing Trade Information on Global Trade Tutor. In this series of video, I'll be talking about China. Now, China is a very important country, a country that is the largest exporter in the world and second largest importer in the world. US is the largest importer in the world and second largest exporter in the world. China has become a major force in recent time, and any individual looking to do business in any country, you definitely want to do business with China, particularly sending raw materials and intermediate product to China. It's important to know that intermediate product is a big deal now in the world. Intermediate product basically means the product is not raw and the product is not finished. And China, being an industrial nation, highly industrialized nation, purchase a lot of these kind of products, particularly primary raw materials and intermediate product, because all these help them to be able to create jobs for their people. As a matter of fact, I'm aware there are some products you can't export finished to China. Why? Because it must be processed in China. Now, these are the kind of policy that China have in mind, or China have put in place to be able to ensure that its country is not a dumping ground, but rather its country, so is the import of China is deliberately targeted to be able to attract raw materials required for manufacturing and intermediate product required for production within the country. In fact, sometimes governments set up a trading company and government fund those trading companies, and those trading companies purchase these raw materials and stockpile them so that when organizations, manufacturing companies, factories need them and they don't have enough cash, they can buy from this trading company. This trading company can even help them issue a letter of credit while the good is on the way. Then they can pay this trading company later. These are the kind of policy and initiative that China has put in place, beyond also the incentive that China gives to its businesses. Now, in this series, I'll be looking at, it's going to be about 20 videos, and I'll be looking at different products, from raw materials to machine and equipment, to precious metals, to transportation, to metal product, to oil product, to foodstuff, to clothing, to different products, animal product, packaged medicament, chemical product that China is importing into its country. By the way, the import volume of China is over $2 trillion. Global trade is just about 24, $25 trillion. And China alone is taking up over $2 trillion. That tells you the level of dependence of the global economy on China. So let's go. I move on now to plastic products. Plastic product. You know, this is interesting for me because China produces a lot of plastic. But I also notice majority of the plastic product import of China is related to the raw material of the product of plastic, as in the secondary product or secondary product of plastic, or intermediate product in plastic production. Intermediate product in plastic production. For example, ethylene polymers. Plastic product like ethylene polymers. China is importing it 19.7 billion. And I'm not surprised, because China need this in a lot of packaging materials. And the reason is because China is into a lot of production. Even though China import crude from which you can get this product, but the fact still remains, China does not have enough of these plastic materials for their own packaging and usage in China. This probably explains the reason why China is importing this. Ethylene polymers, 25% of the plastic product import. Polyacetal, 9.83%. Another plastic product. Synthetic rubber, 9.66%. Other plastic product, 8.29%. Polypropylene polymers, 6.59%. Raw plastic sheeting, 5.91%. Styrene polymers, 4.68%. Rubber, 4.21%. Self-adhesive plastic, 3.46%. Acrylic polymer, 2.53%. Other plastic sheeting, 2.08%. Polyamide, 2.03%. Amino resin, 1.99%. Other rubber product, 1.91%. Plastic lead, 1.31%. Plastic pipe, 1.31%. Silicon, 1.1%. Petroleum resin, 0.99%. Rubber tires, 0.94%. Other vinyl chloride, 0.66%. Rubber apparel, 0.48%. Rubber pipe, 0.45%. So China spent a lot of money importing this item called plastic product, 90.7 billion.